Hi everyone, it's Jay here, and these are the manga and manhwa releases for the second half of June. We're going to start with the Kodansha releases, A Kingdom of Quartz. This is volume 2 of the series, and it's a dark fantasy manga where angels protect the people against demons, and a young orphan with pitch black wings may hold the key to the kingdom's fate. In this one, Blue enters Helios Training Academy to fulfill her lifelong dream of becoming an angel and defending the kingdom. Will Blue finally find the light she has been searching for, or an even deeper darkness within herself? I think this cover is beautiful. It really makes me want to read this series. Next we have volume 14 of Peach Boy Riverside. This series starts with Saltharine, a princess of the kingdom of Alderake, who is convinced that she needs to learn about the world beyond her walls, and journeys out, following the steps of the mysterious, charismatic, terrifying boy she met one day. In this one, with eyes finally on the battlefield, Sally sets out to find Dominica, in the hopes of sparing her friend the scars of something awful. Volume 8 of Shonen Note Boy Soprano. After a long journey of self-discovery, Yutaka finally comes to terms with who he was, as a boy, a singer, and a boy soprano. But now facing Midori's words, will he gather the strength to press onward? Or will all his growth come crashing down in a chaotic crescendo? Volume 3 of Vinland Saga Deluxe. This oversized collection includes volumes 7 to 9 of Vinland Saga, as well as bonus content including colour art from the anime, faux leather covers featuring an inscription in the style of Anglo-Saxon manuscripts, maps, concept art, and behind-the-scenes details, and this is out on the 18th of June. Volume 2, A Sign of Affection Omnibus. For those who don't know, this is a best-selling romance shoujo series which is being re-released as a large-sized omnibus. This one includes volumes 4, 5, and 6. We have another omnibus, Initial D Omnibus Volume 2, and this one includes volumes 3 and 4. Mount Akina's downhill may not necessarily be that easy of a race, and an overpowered engine and inflated ego may turn deadly in this omnibus. We have a new series called Kaina of the Great Snow Sea. A young man named Kaina ekes out an existence high atop the canopy that spreads from the titanic orbital spire trees. He and the remaining few aging villagers believe they are the last humans in the world. After all, no one could survive amid the great snow sea that blankets the surface below, but they're about to learn how wrong they are. And so begins an epic tale that could change the fate of a dying world forever. This sounds like it could be a great read. I love dystopian stories. Please do let me know in the comments below if you've read this and what your thoughts are. Another new series, My Noisy Roommate, The Roof Over My Head Comes with Monsters and a Hottie. Through a series of odd events, Osuke ends up moving into a new place and rooming with a drop-dead gorgeous blonde guy. His name is Nijio, and he tells Osuke that not only are ghosts real, but Osuke himself is a magnet for all things supernatural. Nina the Starry Bride, Volume 5. It's all happening in this one. From succession changes to war to sneaking into another country. Definitely one to pre-order if you're reading this series. Volume 12 is Shangri-La Frontier. Whilst looking to gather information, Sunraku unintentionally gets thrown into a bonus scenario that seems lethally dangerous. Alone in an undersea city full of vicious enemies and separated from his party, Sunraku has 170 hours to clear the scenario. Volume 4 of Super Morning Star. This is the final volume of the series, so make sure you pick this one up to read how this story ends. Moving on to the Yen Press releases, we have a new series called A Sinner of the Deep Sea. In the ocean is a whole world unknown to humanity. There, the mermaid Jo's peaceful life is shattered when her friend Ryu is imprisoned for breaking the gravest of undersea laws. Their existence must be kept hidden from the people above. But why would Ryu let the secret slip, and who did she tell? I have to admit that when I first saw this cover, I immediately thought of Disney's The Little Mermaid. Volume 2 of Akko and Bambi. This series follows an amateur novelist and a ghost girl who live in the same apartment. In this one, the secret behind Akko's existence is revealed. Black Butler Volume 33. Baldo and Lao meet their match when a sinister, deadly foe threatens to bring about their end. Volume 3 of Bloody Sweet. Pt.2's blood-stained history comes back to him when a pair of vampires arrive in town, determined to drag him back to the shadows. Volume 2, Bride of the Barrier Master. Hannah's powers are being tested by Saku's family in this one, and she's even met with harassment at school. Volume 4 of Bungo Stray Dogs, Dead Apple. This is the final volume of this series, so if you want to know how Chuyo fares up against Shibusawa, pick this one up. Dark Moon, The Blood Altar, Volume 3. The upcoming Nightball Championship and Desilus's rivalry with Sunshine City are supposed to be all the gang have to worry about, but when the principal of the orphanage tracks them down, she comes bearing bad news. Volume 4. Hi, I'm a witch and my crush wants to make a love potion. Rose is stuck in a difficult position when Harij returns very woozy. It turns out he accidentally ingested the love potion and is torn between loving his affection and worrying about the day it all ends when the potion wears off. But then he goes and asks something major. Volume 4, Jungle Juice. Branding Suchan a ticking time bomb, most of the professors want him quarantined before he becomes a risk, save for Professor G. In order to prove his student isn't the monster they think he is, Professor G must fight Suchan, even if it means trying to kill him. Kowloon Generic Romance Volume 7. Reiko Kujirai faces a harsh realization. In this Kowloon, when nothing is certain, her falsehood is the one sure truth for Kudo. She is different, yet the same. But when Kujirai tries to pull away, Kudo insists that she never leave. What could he be feeling? Volume 4 of Not So Wicked Stepmom. With Queen Abigail's birthday coming up, Sabrian and Blanche insist on a grand 4-day affair. Although Abigail initially declines, she can't deny that it might completely lay to rest any rumours of discord in her marriage. However, when a sudden outbreak of an unidentifiable illness threatens to ruin the festivities and even leaves the princess bedridden, Abigail takes matters into her own hands. Will she be able to find the cause of the mysterious plague in time? Volume 3, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoints. This series follows Dokja, who is the only reader of an online novel called 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse. So when it comes true, he knows what to do. But in this cruel new world, monsters are not the most dangerous enemies. Fear and desperation amongst the survivors causes Guemho Station to erupt into bloodshed. There's a standalone called Senpai, This Can't Be Love. This follows 2 men, Yanase and Kanade. Yanase is a veteran CG designer and is now the mentor of the industrious new hire Kanada. Yanase is eager to get along with this trainee, but he begins to lose heart in the face of Kanada's frosty indifference. However, on the inside, Kanada's been struggling to play it cool whenever Yanase so much as pats him on the back. Is this a simple case of hero worship, or is there something more to Kanada's feelings? The Remarried Empress Volume 7. Navier starts a new chapter of her life, but the politics of it is not going to be easy, and she also finds out Henry's secret, so read to find out how she reacts. There's a new series called This Monster Wants to Eat Me. Hinako, a high school student with a dark past, lives alone in a town by the sea. Haunted by a constant sensation of drowning, she can barely go through the motions of her tedious life, until the day a monster tries to eat her. After passing out in the struggle, she awakens to find she's been rescued by a beautiful mermaid. However, salvation comes at a cost. The mermaid's protection will last only until Hinako has matured into the perfect meal. Hinako's first instinct isn't to run or scream though, and an unlikely relationship between monster and prey unfolds. The Uncanny Counter Volume 2. Counters are those who've partnered with ghosts from the afterlife to hunt down rogue spirits. After joining the rest of the crew at Auntie's Noodles as a counter, Mun finds himself possessing superhuman strength, and with great power comes great ability to beat up the bullies who terrorise Jungjin High. But the bullies won't go down without a fight, and unlike the new school hero, they have no qualms about punching below the belt. Volume 7 of Tsubaki Chow Lonely Planet. After Fumi gets dragged into the cultural festival's beauty pageant, she finds a silver lining in the handsome upperclassman Ito Kuretsuki, a guy who, despite his popularity, has his fair share of love troubles. But when a disgruntled Akatsuki catches the two walking home, Fumi is horrified he might take it the wrong way. Volume 2, Whoever Steals This Book? A thief steals some books from a library called Mikura Hall and triggers an ancient curse. Its power has transformed the town of Yominaga into a storybook world. Mifuyu Mikura must track down the thief and return the books to the library. Pandora 7, Volume 3. This story follows Leah Frontier, a human who lived on an island full of fantastical creatures. She was the only human and wanted to meet more, but she regrets thinking that when a group of humans destroys her home island looking for Pandora's box. Having unleashed the powers of Pandora's box, she is now trying to find out the truth behind the box, a journey which takes her to a cursed land. Moving on to the Viz media releases, we have Full Night, Volume 1. This dystopian thriller series is set on Earth in the distant future, where thick clouds stop the sun from reaching Earth. Plants wither, and oxygen is thin. To fight extinction, humankind has developed a technology that turns humans into plants, providing a small amount of oxygen. Kamiya is considering this life-changing process of transfloration to help his family, because his mother is ill and his job barely pays for her medication, much less food. I think this sounds absolutely fascinating and I really want to go pick this one up. Gokurakugai Volume 2. While investigating the case of the serial hanging murders around the temple where he and Tao previously fought a horde of Manga, Alma runs into a mysterious young man. He's so timid and quiet that Alma graciously surrenders one of his beloved snacks to the stranger. But there's a reason Tao says to be careful with the quiet ones. Volume 6 of Insomniacs After School. Ganta and Isaki are on their astronomy club summer trip, but when Isaki's older sister and their chaperone ditches them, they're left all alone. Free from their daily obligations, they get lost in the bliss of summer. Mission Yozakura Family, Volume 11. Tsubomi Yozakura comes to Taiyo in his dreams, asking him to kill her. She tells him that in order to do so, he'll need two things. Following her instructions, Taiyo decides to take on the Silver Rank Spy Advancement exam. Unfortunately for him, the test proctors are all Yozakura siblings. Fist of the North Star Volume 3. Kenshiro has crossed the only sea left on Earth and arrived in the land of the Asuras to rescue Rin. It is a blighted place ruled by a brutal code whereby only those who survive hundreds of deadly battles before the age of 15 are allowed to live. That sounds like a horrible place to live. My Name is Shingo, the Perfect Edition Volume 2. Satoru has been meeting up with Marin at his father's factory to spend time with the curious robot Monroe, but their secret has been misinterpreted by the town gossip mill. As rumours start to spread about a budding romance between the two, Marin makes a decision that will forever impact her relationship with both Satoru and Monroe, changing all their lives in unexpected ways. This is a 480-page volume. Nue's Exorcist Volume 1. Outcast Gakuro Yajima has always been able to see spirits, and his only goal in life has been to avoid them and try to live in peace. One day he accidentally enters a sealed, hidden room and meets Nue, a quirky spirit who asks him to defeat the spirits roaming inside the school. Gakuro is reluctant to take her up on the offer, but the evil spirits won't be waiting patiently for him to make up his mind. Moving on to 7 Seas Entertainment releases, we have a new series called Royal Tailor Clothier to the Crown. Hannah's lifelong dream is to become a tailor and make wonderful clothes for people of all the different fantasy races. However, in a world where humans are discriminated against, even getting work as a seamstress is a struggle. That is until a handsome, mysterious prince offers her a job. Tokyo Revengers Omnibus Volume 21-22. The inevitable showdown between Takamichi and Kisaki looms close, and Takamichi wants answers. The Tree of Death Yomatsuheguri Volume 2. Police officer Nawa Kanatsugi is plunged into the midst of an endless war between the enigmatic and twisted Undying and Ren, a a single Shinigami looking to restore death to the world. But can they do it? Volume 4, My Stepmother and Stepsisters Aren't Wicked. Mia, an illegitimate child taken in by the prominent Koronokura main family, never had much of a formal education before arriving at her new home. But when her stepmother and stepsisters feel she has learned all she can within the confines of their estate, they enroll her in a prestigious all-girls academy. Surrounded by the daughters of society's most elite families, Mia can't help but feel out of place, especially when the queen bee of the entire school singles her out just to tell her she's not up to snuff. Stay By My Side After the Rain, Volume 1. This is a BL manga where sparks fly when a salaryman who's given up on love reunites with his crush from high school. Sorry, that should say Volume 1, not Volume 7. We have Volume 1 of Gravitation Collector's Edition. So this is a BL romantic comedy of a rock star and his novelist boyfriend in a large trim omnibus edition, featuring an all-new translation. For those who don't know about this series, which has already been released before, rockstar wannabe Shindo Shuichi is determined to top the charts with his best friend and their rising band. But Shuichi's ego takes a hit when a handsome romance novelist, Yuki Eri, bashes his lyrics. As Shuichi attempts to make Yuki eat his words, he unexpectedly develops a crush on the harsh critic, and the cold and prickly Yuki even seems to like him back. The Dragon Knight's Beloved, Volume 7. Melissa and Herbert are off to the capital. They've left Blue behind to teach him independence, but independence means he can make his own decisions, and it doesn't take him long to decide to head to the capital on his own. Melissa's status as Blue's surrogate mother makes both of them targets for the nobles' political games, and not all of them are fans of dragons. This cover is so pretty. I love the colours. Volume 3 of The Dangerous Convenience Store. Yoojun has a rough encounter with one of Gunwoo's associates, the violent and terrifying Chaehyun. Just what is Chaehyun to Gunwoo, and what does his sudden appearance mean for Yoojun and Gunwoo's budding relationship? We have a new series called Reborn Rich. This manhwa follows Hyunwoo, who, after 13 years as a loyal employee of South Korea's largest business empire, he's rewarded with betrayal and murdered by his employers. Miraculously, he's given a second chance, reborn back in time as Dojun Jin, a grandson of the founder of the corporate dynasty that betrayed him. In a daring quest to rewrite destiny, he will not only attempt to settle the score, he will aim for the ultimate hostile takeover. Moving on to the Tokyo Pop releases, we have a new series called Sweets for Sweets and Foreigners. Ami Sato works for Kobara, a company that specialises in sweets. While she may be good at sales, her confidence in pretty much everything else is really low, which is why she hasn't even thought about dating since college. Instead, she fills up her imagination with romantic scenes from shoujo manga. When she meets Alain Giraud, a handsome, older French man in charge of a new project she's assigned to work on, she begins to struggle to keep that romantic imagination in check, especially with Elaine being so overly friendly. We have Volume 8 of A Gentle Noble's Vacation recommendation. I've never heard of this series before, and it's about a guy called Lizelle who mysteriously finds himself in a city that bears odd similarities to his own, but it clearly isn't. He quickly comes to terms with the unlikely truth. This is an entirely different world. Even so, laid-back Lizelle isn't the type to panic. He immediately sets out to learn more about this strange place, and to help him do so, he hires a seasoned adventurer named Gil as his tour guide and protector. Until he's able to find a way home, Lizelle figures this is a perfect opportunity to explore a new way of life, adventuring as part of a guild. After all, he's sure he'll go home eventually. Might as well enjoy the otherworldly vacation for now, which sounds like a really fun read. From Square Enix, we have Soul Eater, The Perfect Edition, Volume 15. Maka's extraordinary powers of soul perception pinpoint the Kishin's hideout for DWMA, but getting there is an entirely different kettle of fish. Now it's up to Kid and the remaining death sites to take out Public Enemy number 1. So those are the releases for the second half of June. I hope there's something there that you want to buy. There's a lot of new series this month, and I really need more money to buy all these volumes that I want to buy. If there are series that you want to buy, please feel free to use the code Jay'sManga at SciFier.com. It's always nice to get a bit of a discount when you're manga shopping, because it means you might be able to buy another book. Have a lovely manga reading month, everyone. Bye!